Are you thinking of coming to study in Canada? Has a thought crossed your mind? Are you about to start your visa application, or are you about to start applying to colleges and universities? If this is you, then you want to watch this video to the end. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you some things that you should know. These tips and strategies, if applied, would help you with your student permit application, and it will also help you to transition when you're done studying from your study permit to getting permanent residency. So let's get started. So the strategies I'm going to be sharing today is based on a document that was shared by the Immigration Minister in Canada, Sean Fraser. Now, before I get into some of these strategies, let me just state that one of the things that IRCC wants to do is to diversify the countries that come and study in Canada. So let me explain what that means. 50% of the students, of international students that come and study in Canada are from India or China. And that should not come as a surprise, because India and China are the two most populated countries in the world. So it just makes sense, okay? So if this is you're from countries in Europe, or from countries in Africa or South America, or even, Australia, and you want to come and study in Canada, but sometimes you think, would you be successful? Does Canada want you? I want to encourage you to make the application. If you meet the criteria, if you can afford to come and study in Canada, then please consider that. So the strategies. One of the things that you should consider when coming is location. There are 10 provinces in Canada, okay, and 3 territories. 49% of international students that come and study in Canada go to Ontario, then BC, then Quebec. Now, this doesn't surprise me, because the truth is a lot of people want to go to the big cities. We like big provinces and big cities, so a lot of international students troop there. I was speaking to someone the other day and said they're going to study in Ontario because they just feel as if Ontario has more jobs. I'm like, well, fair enough, that makes sense. But what you should be asking yourself as an international student coming to Canada or going anywhere, any country in the world, is what are your chances when you're done studying of getting, yes, your work permit and then getting permanent residency? Because isn't that the whole point of spending all that money, coming, getting a degree? Yes, you will get your postgraduate work permit. But what next after that? The whole idea is to get permanent residency. It makes sense to go to a smaller province, because the thing about the big provinces, the competition when you are done studying, the competition to get jobs, the competition to get permanent residency is a lot. I was talking to a lady the other day and I said, for me, what you want to study, look at the Atlantic provinces. You go to a province that when you are done, and then transitioning will be easy. One of the advantages of the Atlantic provinces, so either Nova Scotia, PEI, New Brunswick, or Newfoundland, it's after you get your postgraduate work permit, you start applying for permanent residency, you have other immigration options like the AIP. You are competing with less. Now, this makes sense because right now, one of the things that Immigration Canada is working on, they're working on a municipal immigration pathway. What this means is that they're working on a new immigration stream, and that immigration stream is going to target small cities, smaller areas. Because the truth is, the big urban cities are filled up. Everybody is going to the Halifaxes and, the Vancouvers, the Montreal. But Immigration Canada wants the smaller regions, smaller provinces to also benefit from international students. So if you're about to start your application, you're still looking for places, what province to go, what college or university, consider a college in a small province. Right now, Quebec are working on a stream whereby international students that come to study specific courses outside of Montreal will be able to pay $3,000 as international fees. The emphasis is outside of Montreal because Montreal already has a lot of international students and they want the smaller cities to benefit from having international students. So please consider location, very important. The second thing you should consider, okay, is the duration of your course. Now, I know that a lot of universities and colleges in Canada offer one-year courses. And yes, sometimes you have to think about the affordability. One-year courses are more affordable. It makes more sense. It is more affordable to come and do a one-year course, get a one-year postgraduate work permit, and then you hope to get your permanent residency. But right now, a lot of people will tell you that if you want to come and study in Canada, try, if you can, okay, to choose a program whereby the duration is 2 years or more. The advantage of a 2-year program is that when you're done, you've met all the criteria and you're done, you'll get a 3-year postgraduate work permit. Okay, so very important. I know it's going to be more expensive, but look at the end results. Having 3 years a 3-year work permit is definitely more advantageous than having a 1-year work permit. You go for a job interview and you have a 3-year work permit, the employer is more likely to to hire you than somebody that has a 1-year work permit. And the truth is 1 year goes like that. Okay, so if you can, please consider a course or a program that is more than 1 year. Another thing to consider is your choice of program. This is very important. One of the things the minister highlighted in the strategy document that came out a couple of weeks ago is that there are some in-demand jobs and in-demand occupations in Canada. Now, if I hear this, I'm an international student, the first thing I want to do is consider studying courses that are actually in demand in that country. So for the immigration minister to say, there's a shortage of jobs or we have a shortage of manpower for people in health or hospitality, right? Then you want to study these courses because the truth is when you are done, the jobs are available. Some of these in-demand occupations in health. And when I say health, I don't just mean doctors and nurses, continuing care assistants. Occupational therapy is huge here in Canada. I didn't even know what occupational therapy was till we came to Canada. It's huge. Physiotherapists, okay? Occupations in hospitality. When I talk to people about occupations in hospitality, people say, oh, I don't want to be a waitress. I don't want to be, there's so much more you can do with hospitality. The lady that used to make my hair last year, she was an international student and she just graduated. So I called her a couple of months ago and I said, hey, I want to make my hair. And she's like, oh, Habiba, I just graduated today. And in a week or two, she got an amazing job. I asked her what she studied. She said tourism and hotel management. She's now working one of the top hotels here in Halifax. I was like, wow, good for you. So she's like, I don't have time to braid. I'm working full time and I'm enjoying my job. So hospitality is also an industry that is in demand in some provinces. I know here in Nova Scotia it is. So consider those courses. Okay, the trade industry has a lot of jobs that are available. I talk to people and they say, no, I don't want to come and study. People look down on the trade industry. I have no idea why. Okay, there's so many jobs for people that have experience as truck drivers in trucking. I was talking to somebody the other day that it's a fisherman, and when they told me the amount of money they make, I was like, wow, that's a trade skill. People actually go to school for that. So consider courses that are in demand. And I'm going to put some of these occupations in demand in the description of this video. Very, very important. Okay, now if you take all these things, you consider all these things, the location, duration of your course, and very important, the course itself that you're coming to study, okay, then you will be successful with your international student application and for when you're done as well. The truth is, the world has changed. It is no longer business as usual. And if you're coming from your home country, you're spending all that money right now. When I talk to people from Nigeria coming with the exchange rate of about 500 naira to $1 Canadian or more, you want to come, get value, and you want to study something. If you plan on staying in Canada, you want to study a program that is going to be useful so that when you're done, getting a job, staying here permanently will be easy. I always tell international students going to any country, ask yourself about the what next. When you're done studying, what next? Are you just going there for 2 or 3 years and then what next? So think about the what next, and this would help you. These 3 things I've mentioned would help you. And until next time, keep watching Biba's Canadian Journey. Take care.